Robert Singletary. On my trips to visit my family, I came through this area several times, came through Coeur d'Alene, loved the setting, loved the lake, and I said, one of these days I'm going to get back. So I contacted Dean Stone at the college and found out that there was a little community college here. And eventually wound up, took a job in a local high school as a music director. And eventually when the college opened up at NIC, I took it and stayed in the music department for 10 years. I was a tenured college professor in music, but I still had a hankering to teach a little history because I had a double major in history and music. You know, I've always been community-minded. Even when I travel, I can't stand not knowing how the community came into existence and who started and why and what happened to it. And so when I came to Coeur d'Alene, I fell in love with that name. So I said, I'm going to research what that name means. And so I spent a lot of time trying to figure out where that came from, going all the way back to the fur trade days. So my interest is broad. I've been called a Renaissance man, but I finally figured out the real definition of a Renaissance man: someone who never grew up and don't really know what they want to do, so they try to do everything. And I guess that's what I did, and I loved it. I love doing a variety of things. So to me, getting involved in a community, community's been very good to me, and so part of it's payback. Part of it's just doing things that need to be done. I look around, I'm somewhat of a visionary, and I say, we don't have a symphony orchestra here in town, so I'll create one. So I did. I said, we don't have a community concert band here in town, so I created one. So I see needs and then try to make them, I guess, looking towards the future. And I've always looked, as a historian, looking to the past. I view it this way. If a community has, like, amnesia, we don't know where to go. We don't know where we've been, we don't know where we are, and we don't know where to go. And so I feel that that's sort of my mission as a historian, as a sort of a regional historian, to inform the community about where we've been, where we are now, and where we need to go. And it all happens at once. It's a kind of an interesting dynamic. But in terms of our future, I think right now I'm a little concerned about some of the polarization that's not only happening across the country, it's happening right here in our backyard. I think people are not looking at everything, they're not looking at it with perspective and a comprehensive view. They're seeing their side of what wants to happen, and it's becoming so polarized. So I look at that as a challenge, probably the greatest challenge this town and this community and this nation has for the future, is to take those things. The art of compromise is still pretty important to me, both politically and business and in so many other ways. And I think we've sort of lost the art of compromise, both in our politics and in our culture in a lot of ways. So I think that's what I see in our community, is that we need more cohesiveness in working with people from a variety of backgrounds and seeing what the commonality is and what our differences are. One of the things that I have tried to do, I may not always do it, but I'm a mountain climber. When I was in Alaska, I got into the college alpine club and did some mountain climbing. And you can be on the side of a mountain and only see what's in front of you. It's only when you get to the top that you can look around and get perspective. And I think we need to have more mountain climbers in our community that gets on top and looks around and say, wait a minute, my point of view is not the only one.